running Nasus, Amani, Ashlyn, Charnock, and Ramsey. And then two Primal Rage is going to be running Amani, Uncle Sven, Ramsey, Margrave, and Mozu. Um, Pretty standard comps that both running the Amani. And as Amani ends up getting a couple good shots off, that's Zero on Amani, which is another really skilled player. Ends up taking out the not a Smurf. So it's a 20-30 lead now for Primal Rage, and they're just going to look to kind of reset themselves. TooSKILLED is going to reset themselves and wait for another opportunity.
This is the kind of the map of Sanctum Falls. You know, when Amani's in the game, it's kind of just, you know, a turtle fest, and sometimes people charge, sometimes people go and make flanks on E or B, and sometimes they just kind of, you know, sit back and just watch. You know, right now Amani unfortunately not the most exciting, you know, person to watch, but she you know, she does do a lot of damage. She does contribute a lot to the composition that both teams are running right now. It's just going to come down to who performs it better.
Yes, absolutely. And it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna come down to one of those games. It's gonna come down to whoever gets the first pick. And when we can see on Primal Rage's end, they were able to get the Amani, and it might actually stall out to the point where Primal Rage is going to get the first push just off of that one kill off of Amani, and we might see other the match continue on like this, unfortunately. But this is how they play their comps, really passively, just wait for a pick, and if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, but right now with the A and the F rotation, you know, if TooSKILLED wants to get this push, they really need to go in and they need to try and disrupt A, and it looks like Charnock's trying to do that right now, doing the best that he can. But someone is also on the F point doing the exact same thing, and it looks
they weren't
like
able to interrupt it in time.
Yep, they pulled that off before TooSKILLED could. It looks like people were back there.
Charnock did end up getting taken out as well. So it got an 80 to 100. I wonder how they got the 10 extra, or how they lost like extra power at that point.
I think they got it. It was the kill on them on Amani. It was just them being behind in that bracket, and then the F creature didn't capture in time. You know,
we'll talk more about that later. Yeah, it's true. I thought they were going to aggress on this point, so looked like there was a fight about to come out, but it's not. And now this is just going to be the patient waiting game, as just Amani trying to look for any kind of shot she can take at this point. The Zero on the opposite side ended up getting a sneaky position. Amani couldn't see it, but ended up taking a shot. Is regenerating health right now, and she gets a couple shots off on possibly Uncle Sven, maybe?
Hard to tell.
It was the Amani. Oh, getting shut down really low as the surprise Ramsey. Poison is going to take down the Amani at this point, and that was definitely a surprise for everybody to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of, he was suddenly there, all the burst in the world, and then just Amani was dead. You know, that puts him behind by 20. But almost everyone on TooSKILLED's team right now has a focus ready. Actually, Ashlyn just used hers. But you know, this is kind of the same thing that I was saying about Soup when we were watching their game. They have focuses ready, and they don't necessarily need them to fight. They should be upgrading creatures so that it's not just, you know, a power gain thing. It's also an experience gain thing. You know, right now they've gotten one push. And the teams might be equal in level. Actually, they might be behind in level just because of the kills.
Someone is on the E point. It is Ramsey just trying to flank the Amani at this point.
Yep.
Gets a little bit of damage off, but not too much, as he has to disengage. The team was ready this time. The Amani might not have been ready, but the team was ready.
Absolutely. But they just need to be able to get... They need to either make a move and aggress with this. They don't really have a good siege comp, honestly. But
But they're pushing into B anyway right now.
yep.
As the kill shot is going out, Ashlyn blocking some shots off, and looks like Ramsey is just sitting on the. It was Mozu this time, sitting on the Amani, taking her down to about half health. Is she's not going to be able to get the kill because Ashlyn and Charnock, even though they were low, were deterring her away. But now Amani is in a real awful spot as she jumps over to the Cyclops. And hopefully the team didn't see her at this point because it's now an auto wound going in the way of PrimalRage.
Yeah, and there's nothing they can really do to defend this right now, especially with 3 people falling on TooSKILLED's side. You know, they're actually going for D. PrimalRage is actually going for D right now. They can kill it. You know, they don't need to worry about the swoon because it's automatic. They just need to chunk it down low, and then they can kill it, and that's another 10 power. That's exactly what happened. You know,
the question is, are they going to go ahead and just opt to summon D? And it looks like they're not going to. They're just going to opt to quickly rotate over to C to meet TooSKILLED at this point, and they're trying to just poke everybody out. And is now a lot of damage going out. Kill shot hitting so many people, getting everybody extremely low. Amani's 25% health. 3 people have fallen on PrimalRage. There's the 4th, and Ashlyn is probably going to go down at this point. Amani hitting the shots. That's an execution, a quick execution for PrimalRage.
Yeah, that was super fast. There's just so much damage, so much AoE. You don't want to fight on a Yeti Cyclops, even if it is a baby. You know, it has that AoE. The freeze does damage. The burst, you know, explosion does damage. They were not in the right position there, and especially not in the favor when the Cyclops wall blocks their most, you know, their easiest escape. They're behind by freaking 70 points now, and with B coming up, E's not going to capture fast enough unless they summon right away, which they will do, but even then, it's still going to be a huge amount of impact damage, and I would not be surprised if PrimalRage went in and decided to go for that second wound to push Clash, to push early.
Yeah, definitely that Amani kill shot was won them that team fight, hands down. Ashlyn was blocking the shots, but Zeru was just waiting for that shield to go down and then just lays in a rank 2, possibly a rank 3 focus kill shot onto everybody.
Yeah, that was crazy amounts of damage. But hits roughly about half health on that Guardian, and I don't think they're actually going in. I'm a little surprised, truthfully. It looks like they're gonna go ahead and try to take down this Summer Bloomer. I'm not exactly sure when that happened, but Amani not in the best position there, kind of getting blocked by the she's not blocked physically, but getting blocked, you know, visually by the healthy Bloomer orb from her own tree.
Yeah, it was. That Bloomer is trying to body block as much as possible, but can't really do much. The bounce pad jumping over to looks like Slipstream. I'm not sure who he's playing at this point, but he ends up disengaging. Wonderland is getting taken down really low as now getting shot out. A couple good shots around that corner is taking her down really low. Ramsey's not here to take the Amani out real quick, but she's going to poke out with a little bit of health and just trying to get in as much damage as she can to support the team, but not really in the safest position to do that as she now goes over to the Bloomer to heal up.
Yeah, and this is the problem right now, that the friendly Amani that we're watching, she's getting pushed out of the fights, and it's too dangerous for her to, you know, keep peeking, especially when there's an enemy Amani like Zeru. Zeru is an excellent Amani player, and you know, I'm willing to bet money on the fact that that he can outshot this Amani. Not to like bash on this Amani or anything. I just know, you know, through experience, through actual like exposure to playing with and against Zeru's Amani, you know, she can't contribute to these fights because she's getting pushed out. That immediately leaves on a 4v5 because Zeru can just switch targets to attack the people that are advancing on his, you know, territory. And right now, TooSKILLED does not have the right team comp to put out these brawls.
Ramsey's getting taken out really low. A couple shots maybe from Mozu. No, does not end up getting them taken out. But the Bloomer actually at this point is doing a lot of work for them, as it's now getting aggressed on right now. The Sven focus does end up chopping the channels for a little bit. Margrave getting poked out a little, getting poked out, is going to go ahead and disengage from this fight. They're just keeping it open. The kill shot is going out to Zeru, as kill shot on her own ends up not getting much out of it, but they do end up taking the Bloomer, and that's 20 free power for them. As Ramsey, that triple though. That cripple, where did that come from?
I'm not entirely sure, truthfully.
I thought it was Ramsey, but
you know, looking at the chat, you know, it's there. You know, Margrave, the enemy Margrave, just has to show up at D, open up the point. Amani just shoots it. You know, she doesn't even have to use kill shot. She did just for the fact that it would go down quicker. And you know, they got that 40 power lead, getting 100 to 60 push, and now the clash has begun. They've only had one push. It was at the very beginning, and so far it's just kind of turned on them. PrimalRage getting all sorts of pushes in a row, and they're aggressing on this E point. And it just doesn't look like TooSKILLED has the answers right now.
Yeah, PrimalRage is actually in the perfect opportunity right now with the changes over to the changes to C right now. As I'm saying that, two people on TooSKILLED are rotating over to the A point. But this is like the perfect opportunity for PrimalRage. They have the Amani, and with the changes to the Cyclops, she can just sit pretty. Ranged characters can sit in a safe environment at that point. And a couple deflex shots off on her, and Ramsey ended PrimalRage's Ramsey ended up taking out Chi Ball at this time, and they got the Cerberus down to about half health, but aren't going to be able to do much more damage to it. Yeah, as that's going on,
it looks like TooSKILLED going for. Sorry, it looks like TooSKILLED going for C at this point is just kind of a lost cause. You know, it's an adult Yeti. The enemy team has an Amani that can stay safe pretty much the entire time, because now, like you said, the change where the wall location, they can't jump up into that point anymore. And it, you know, even if that didn't get changed, they do not have the team comp. TooSKILLED does not have the team comp to be able to get up there. The only person who can actually get up there is the Amani we're watching and Charnock. You know, no one else has vertical leap, and that kind of bites them in the butt.
Definitely. PrimalRage, this is like the best of like all worlds. Any kind of weakness that PrimalRage has in their team comp, especially against TooSKILLED, like this is the perfect balanced comp, in my honest opinion, for PrimalRage.
Yeah, absolutely. But the power going to B point, you know, this will be the push. They have no chance to get over there in time to disrupt it, and it's just too difficult right now, especially against the Amani.
Yeah, it's an 80 to 100, especially in Clash. You see it takes about half health, as Margrave's just wanting to size them up a little bit, just asking them if they want to go somewhere, you know, like 1v1 me in this staircase. But Mani blows the kill shot, was trying to get a little bit of damage, but unfortunately it might have been ended up just missing that, unfortunately, but does not have it to defend this wound, as the Mozu's death ray ends up going out. Ramsey is getting taken out really low. The deflex shield is going to be able to let that Ramsey survive, as
there it goes.
PrimalRage wrap up the game.
Absolutely.
It's PrimalRage had a really good balance comp for Sanctum, and they played to their strengths really well.
Absolutely.